Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We have moved again. This is why there's been a quiet point. I've been moving. I forgot to bring my flags. You're gonna have to deal with a Star Wars poster. If you don't like it, then tough. But why are we here? Why have I got my Edinburgh tea here? What's starting this weekend? The URC. So what does that mean? You know exactly what that means. Table predictions. Couple of things to say first. I'm not going to do the playoffs. This is purely table. The playoffs are hard enough to do. The table's hard enough. This is my opinion. I'm a fan. I watch the game. Sometimes I won't watch all the games. I'll watch what I can. I'm not that smart. So, yeah. If a team's too high or too low, yeah. Let's go. So, I asked you guys about a week ago, I must say. I did hope to get this out sooner, but as I said, moving it took a bit longer than I thought. But yeah, and a lot of you said, do you think Glasgow are going to win the whole thing? As I said, I'm not going to do playoffs. I don't think Glasgow win the whole thing. Without sounding too rude to Glasgow and taking away what an achievement it was, I think it was a slight fluke. I'm not saying they're bad, but I think that there is better teams, if that makes any sense. But yeah, let's go. So we're going to go bottom up, and yeah, let's get into it. So at 16th, I've gone with the Dragons. Now the Dragons are just... It doesn't get good for them, does them? I do feel bad for them. Looking, I thought if they could have got that Liam Williams transfer in, they were sitting quite good. I remember seeing those links and going, if Dragons can get him, they might be sitting quite well. But obviously that's fallen apart. I think he's gone back to Japan. But yeah. So I do think they'll come dead last. I can see them going winless. I will be honest. I mean, Welsh derbies you can't predict. They may well pick up a win against a Cardiff or Scarlets or something like that. But, excuse me, I can see Dragons really struggling. 15th I've got Zebra. I actually do think they will pick up a couple of wins this season. I think they've actually got a good young crop of players. Who are getting that experience. You're starting to see it in Italy as well. And Benetton, Italy seems to be going through a little revolution of rugby at the minute. And I think that Zebra are soon going to be running off this hype. They still seem to be... Last season they felt a little bit off, but I think they might be able to get it over this time. In 14th, I've got the Scarlets. Again, there's not an awful lot to really be excited about if you're a Scarlets fan. Again, I feel bad. Scarlets and Wales, they've got a lot of rebuilding to do. It's not impossible for them to be back, but I think it is too early for them. I think Wales and the clubs are still a few years out from being truly back. Maybe outside of... I'll get to it, but... Similarly, in 13th, I've got Cardiff again. I can see them causing some problems. Cardiff are one of those teams, they can pick up wins against some of the top teams. They can. But I just feel like, again, they're that much of a mess. It's just going to take a little bit of time to recover. And maybe it's a season or two too early for them. 12th might be a little interesting shout. I've actually gone with Connacht. Connacht had problems last season. I saw it. Many of you saw it. I think every week I had at least one Irish person in my comments going, something up with Connacht. There's problems with Connacht. And there is. I haven't seen much to a solution. Now, yes, they might be able to fix it, but again, I think they might need a little bit of time. In 11th, similar, they are fixing themselves, is the Sharks. They've brought some players back. Obviously, Sia Khaleesi's gone back. I'm not sure how much he'll play for them, if I'm going to be honest. The South Africans, especially at the start of the season with the Rugby Championship, I think they are going to get hurt by not having them internationals early on in the season. But still, I think they will improve on last season. Last season, basically, till about the last 5 rounds, they were absolutely dreadful. But I do think they will be slightly better this season. In 10th, a team that actually hasn't been bad. I believe they did get top 8 last season. Was Ospreys. You know, the only kind of Welsh side who actually seems to be doing alright. Is the Ospreys. And I think again they'll have a good season. I just think that there's better teams. I do. Again, I can see Ospreys picking up some wins against some of the bigger teams. I wouldn't be surprised if they go to a Benetton, an Ulster, something like that, and getting a win. Maybe even a Munster or a Bulls. But I can't, I think it's their consistency they're going to struggle with. Similar to that in 9th is Lions. They will be up there. They will be in that race for the top 8. I just think they need to fix the away consistency. It's a South African thing that they're really good at home and can be quite poor away. Now, yes, that's because completely different climates, long travel, all that, I get that. But I do think the Lions are kind of the embodiment of that. They can beat anyone at home, but they can lose to anyone away. And I think that's just going to hurt them. A lot of the European-based teams are well hurched on going to Wales, going to Ireland, going to Scotland and getting wins. The South Africans are still to prove that on a wide scale. I know they do win away from home, but they're yet to win 5 or 6 away from home, which they're going to need. 5 or 6 away is good, but even 3 or 4, I think a lot of them struggle with. So, into the top 8, into the playoff positions. At number 8, I have got Edinburgh. Edinburgh just missed out last season. I say they bottled it last season. As an Edinburgh fan, they bottled it. I've done a separate video about a month ago on why I think Edinburgh will be so much better this season. I think their attack, which was the main problem, they won enough games to be about 6th last season, but they just couldn't score the points. They were winning them by 3 or 4 points every single game, but they needed the better attack. They couldn't get their 4 tries. And I think that will be fixed this season. You're already seeing it. They got a good win. I know it's only pre-season, but they got a good win against Gloucester. And they've got some of their star players back. Obviously, Darcy Graham and Emiliano Boffelli missed most of last season through injury. So I do think that there is an improvement in Edinburgh. 7th, I have gone with Benetton. I think Benetton will build on a good last season. I think Benetton were really good last season. I think they will just build on that. I think Lewis Lynach will be a star. I really do. I've been impressed by him. Benetton. I don't know what much to say about them. They're an impressive team, and I think they'll be around for a while. I think they'll kind of cement themselves as a team that will probably get playoffs quite frequently. So, in 6th, seems to be the team that seems to always come 6th, is Ulster. Just Ulster in 6th is like milk and tea. It just always happens. They'll be pretty consistent, I think. Nothing really to say they're not. I know they're losing a few big names like Stephen Kirchhoff, but to be brutally honest with you, I think they'll be fine. Moving on to 5th, we have got the Stormers. I think the Stormers are a really good team. If you've watched this channel for long enough, you know how big of a fan I am of them, how much I love their playstyle. I just think that they will struggle away to the big teams. I don't think they've done a lot of business over the summer. Not really strengthened an awful lot of places, which I think might not help them at all. And especially when they have to come across, I know they have to come to Edinburgh. They might struggle in that game, stuff like that. And I think that the top four are that consistent that they will be able to, they'll probably get 15, 16 wins in the season. I think Stormers will get about 14, 15. So, yeah. Moving on, fourth in Munster. Munster in fourth, sorry. So, a good placing for Munster. Obviously, I think they'll be slightly hurting from last season. I think that semi-final loss to Glasgow will hurt them. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have lost. I think Glasgow beat them fair and square, but just saying I don't think they expected to lose to Glasgow. I think that, Munster will have wanted better than a semi-final last year. And I think that they will fight back, and I think that they will do well this season. In third, speaking of reigning champions, I have gone with Glasgow. Glasgow, they're undefeated at home last season, and to be brutally honest with you, I can't see anyone beating them at home again this season. I think they'll pick up a few losses away from home. I think they'll struggle in their South African tour, they always do. They'll probably lose in the Murrayfield leg of the 1872. And if they have to go away to somewhere like Leinster, I can see them losing as well. So I think they will pick up a couple of losses. I cannot talk. But I think they'll get the job done quite comfortably. They're a really good team. They've strengthened, They've got the likes of Adam Hastings in now, and I think he'll revolutionise the team again as a proper goal kicker, which I think they had been lacking slightly. In second, I've gone with the Bulls. Now, if you've seen my season predictions, I have tipped them to win the entire thing. But obviously, the league is not the entire thing. I think they'll come second. Again, I can see them going unbeaten at home. It's just their away form. Again, I can see them tripping up to a team like a Glasgow and a Munster and stuff like that away from home. And I think Leinster in first could go unbeaten in the league again. Blimmin' hell, they've got Jody Barrett coming in. Everyone hide. Now, I know he's only in for a very short time over the league season where they don't need him. They need him at the business end because that's the bit that they're stumbling down at. But yeah, Leinster will top the table. I'm sure of it. RG Simon coming in as well. If he can stay fit, he will be a very good addition to them. Yeah, to be honest with you, they're vanity signings. Leinster or Leinster. They'll be fine in the league. It'll be when it comes to semi-finals and that they'll struggle, as usual. But no, I think that you could say 12th to probably 6th, so Connacht to Ulster are anyone's guess. That's my best thought of it, but I really wouldn't be surprised if you see a Sharks in 6th, an Ulster in 10th, and a Edinburgh in 12th. That wouldn't shock me. Well, it would. Edinburgh needs to come high on 12th, but yeah, that's my predictions. Let me know yours. Let me know how bad they are. I don't think they're that bad. I wouldn't have done them if they're not that bad. Let me know what you think of the new setup. Again, I will still be changing, but yeah. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be back with a round 1 predictions in a few days. Probably is the next time I'll be back. Yeah. And then, hey, first game of the season. I'm heading down to Edinburgh. They've got a massive opening game. They've got home to Leinster in the first round, so that's going to be fun. Mind you, Glasgow had Leinster at home last season, beat them, and we all know what happened, so similar from the friends from down there, mate. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and until next time, I shall see you later.